Okay, here's what I think about like how people like work. So there's people who grow up in their families, right? If you have both of your parents, that is extremely beneficial. If you are missing one of them, then there's issues that can be rooted from that, and they can also not be. It's complicated. But for the sake of this, what I'm about to say, we're gonna go with people who have both parents. So there's people there's people who seem to not care about like anyone else, right? God, it's so hard to word this. There's people in the world who are self-conscious, and there's people in the world who are not as self-conscious. And I believe that this has to do with the amount of shame that they receive or lack of, promotion within their own family that creates these kinds of self-doubt and self-shaming. It bakes itself into your mental, so you have more intrusive thoughts of like, you're not good enough, you did this wrong, and therefore you're a bad person. Everyone has these thoughts. Everyone does, but some people are more prone to that. And really what that is anxiety, right? Like when you're anxious, you're thinking like at the speed of light. When you're having an anxiety attack, you're thinking faster than the speed of light and your heart can't take it. So you're fucking... Anyway, God, did I just mute myself? One thing I will say about downward spiraling is that it's self-reinforcing. You get down about something and then you can move on if you can do that, or you could think about all of the aspects of why you got down about that, all of the how it means that you're a bad person because you got down about that. Like you're not able to feel good about anything, so that's even more depressing. People who have been there understand what I'm saying. It's like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, I am depressed, why can't I feel happy? And then you're depressed because you can't feel happy. That's not a very astute way of putting it. But if you get me, you get me. You really do. What you should do if you are experiencing that, where you are overly confused about why things are, or how they do, or why you are who you are, just, this is gonna sound like, just pick yourself up. Just go for a walk, touch grass. But truly, it does start with you. You just need to let go of those thoughts. That is not to say that they will stop coming once you do that. Intrusive thoughts, that's why they're called intrusive thoughts. You don't force them yourself. It's a part of you, and it comes back when you don't want it to. The way you get past it is by understanding that that's an intrusive thought and not giving it any power. I have weird thoughts all the time. Just because you think something does not mean that you believe that. When you're you know, maybe you drop. For me, I'm a bar back, so I clean dishes all the time and glasses, and sometimes I'll drop glasses. And when I drop a glass, or when I used to drop a glass, because now I'm used to it, because I do it a lot. When I used to drop a glass, shit would shatter, and I'd get that instant shock of like, oh fuck, I just did something wrong. And those intrusive thoughts come then. That's when they come, is when it is in response to things that happen. So it's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. If only you held the glass tighter. If only you didn't carry so many at once. You're who you trying to prove? You're trying to prove something to someone by carrying that many glasses. These are intrusive thoughts. I know I'm not trying to prove anything by carrying too many glasses. I know that I'm not stupid for dropping a glass. People do it. It's going to happen when you're moving like 20 glasses a minute. That's a thing that's out of my control. Dropping a glass. Even though it isn't really, but it's just going to happen. And that is out of my control. The fact that it is going to happen. So, what I can control is my own response to that occurrence. You drop a glass, everyone looks, right? Because it's super loud and it just draws so much attention to yourself. Literally everyone looks at you. But nobody ever thinks that you are stupid for dropping a glass. Nobody ever thinks that you are dumb for making a mistake unless they are unhappy with themselves. That is them projecting. No matter what, if someone ridicules you for making a mistake that is genuinely out of your control, like when too many glasses are stacked. I'm using a lot of glass analogies. When too many glasses are stacked here, you got too much on your plate. Now we've got plates. The things that are out of your control, people understand. And then people who hate themselves, maybe they'll be like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. And that's hard. That's hard to deal with, is other people telling you you're dumb. But it's, once you get through that, you're like, oh, wait, that person is super unhappy. Like, they do not like themselves. Why would they have to tell me that I'm an idiot when something happened? That's not beneficial to anyone. It's just them fulfilling their own desire to see anger put out into the world. And there are many people who do not know what I'm saying right now. They feel the way they feel, and that is it. But you can change yourself. You can change yourself. The way you comprehend things, the way you take in new information, the way you handle social situations. What I'm talking about right now is literally how to change, how to better yourself. Bettering yourself is perhaps the best thing. Literally. It is the most fulfilling feeling. It genuinely is. When you notice that you have less intrusive thoughts, that's a monument. That is monumental to someone who constantly clouds themselves with that. It is a great feeling to know that you are making progress. And it's slow moving. It's so slow. It's so slow. It's not noticeable in a day. It's not noticeable in a week. But when those intrusive thoughts come, you can dig into them. You can be, fuck, you're right. I have these thoughts. They're right. I'm right that I'm stupid. Yeah. And that'll just, you can keep thinking you're a dumbass. You'll never love yourself, ever. Or you can know that those thoughts are coming into your head because of past things, and know that you don't have to think about them, and know that they mean nothing. Because at a point, your brain wants to do bad things. It's like a coping mechanism. Like, if, for example, whenever I used to have a really awkward situation in public, and then I'd cringe at myself for something I said, I'd go like this. I'd fucking really dig my nail into my thumb here. And it kind of like alleviated the feeling of, okay, I'm not thinking about that anymore because I'm thinking about the pain in my hand. That is a coping mechanism. Don't do that. Do not do that. Truly, it is about letting go. It is about allowing your thoughts to flow and not stopping your train of thought when you hit something bad. It's about moving past that. Now, that is not unconditional. If you have the thought, oh, I want to kill this person, or, oh, this person deserves to be hurt. Well, if they do deserve it, like if they do something fucking terrible, if an innocent person, if you want to hurt someone, that's when you need to think about your thoughts and think about, like, how I should change that and maybe not be a fucking psychopath. These are ramblings, but I think I got my main point across, is that you really just need to start being yourself, not hate yourself for your thoughts. I have a saying that really helps me, and it's, I think, I observe, I move on. So you think your thought, you observe what you thought, and then you move on. And you gotta move on. If you don't move on, then it's unresolved. It'll just stay as a part of you if you don't move on, It just builds if you don't move on. So if you can try and think like, I think, I observe what I thought, and I move on. I used to be super stuck in the observing what I thought. And I think it actually gave way to me becoming more enclosed. I haven't been myself in years. I've been suppressing my own personality because I thought that I was weird. I thought that I was cringy. Just the core of me. I thought that I was cringe. And I hated it. So if you think that you are cringe, just know that anyone that's cringing at you cringes at themselves so much harder every day. That's my piece.